With that, we've had a look at the month of October and Klopp's first few games as a manager, and a few of the problems and things that he's had to face. You know, the injuries, the media. You know, obviously he's just come to Liverpool. He's come to a new city. Got to move his family. That's obviously a very stressful time. You know, he's got to learn about the town. He's got to, you know, find out where the nearest shops are and where he can go for a nice can of Stella. I don't know what he drinks. As we were saying, he's come to a new town, and like whenever you visit anywhere new or move somewhere new for work or whatever, it's hard to get to know the town, to get to know the city, the people, the culture, you know, where the local amenities are, where you might want to spend your time. So Owen, it's quite convenient that you might have a solution.
Yes, thank you very much. As you said, as Liverpool's new manager settles into life in one of the most demanding jobs in football, his primary task will surely be shoring up a team that has been struggling to reach its full potential. He could be forgiven for not having made exploring his new home city his highest priority, and I'm sure most fans would forgive him and prefer him to spend time shoring up our defence than checking out the sights of Merseyside. So with that in mind, the Plastic Scousers have done him a massive solid as we present our bespoke Klopp Guide to Liverpool. We'll start our tour down by the waterside, within the impressive surroundings of the Albert Dock, the first structure in Britain built with cast iron, brick and stone, and no structural wood, making it the first non-combustible warehouse system in the world. Great fact. And Klopp will surely be interested to see how the institution has got rid of all its dead wood. Let's hope he was taking notes. Badly damaged in the Blitz and derelict and closed by the 1970s, the Albert Dock of today owes its grandeur to a massive redevelopment started in 1981. Once again, the idea of taking over something run down and average and making it attractive and glamorous will hopefully not be lost on our new manager. From there on, you can take the famous ferry across the Mersey, Liverpool's second most celebrated crossing, beaten only by John Arneris's ball in the Champions League final in Istanbul, which allowed Steven Gerrard to head home to make it 3-1. The rest is history. Now that was a great crossing. Being honest, there's not much on the other side of the Mersey, so take the ferry back over and wander along to the Pier Head, home of Liverpool's famous Three Graces, the Port of Liverpool building, the Cunard building, and of course the iconic Royal Liver buildings. Atop the latter sit the world-famous Liver Birds, mythical emblem of both Liverpool FC and the city as a whole. Now, prior to our first ever FA Cup win in 1965, local legend stated that should the Reds ever win that famous old trophy, the Liver Birds would leave their perch and fly off down the Mersey. Alas, we did, and they didn't. Now, they just sit there, watching but never getting involved, seemingly destined never to leave Liverpool. All things that I'm sure Jose Enrique can empathise with. From there, jump on a bus, not a parked one, please, Mr. Klopp, and visit two more of the city's most impressive sights, the pair of cathedrals, Anglican and Catholic. The Anglican Cathedral was opened in 1978 after work first started in 1904, which should at least make Jurgen look on the bright side about the scale of the rebuilding job he's got on his hands at Anfield. Architect Giles Gilbert Scott unfortunately died before seeing his vision completed, much like Bill Shankly left Liverpool before seeing the great side he built raise the European Cup in 1977, or like Steven Gerrard left his boyhood club without ever winning the league with them. Half a mile away is Liverpool Metropolitan Cathedral, home for the city's many Catholics, in comparison taking only 5 years to build, from 1962 to 1967. The most distinctive feature of the building, architecturally speaking, is the pinnacled crown that sits atop it, much like the crown that sits on top of a Premier League trophy. Not that anyone in Liverpool would know that. The two cathedrals are at opposite ends of perhaps the most appropriately named road in Liverpool, Hope Street. A more modern landmark is the Radio City Tower in the centre of the city, formerly home to one of Britain's few revolving restaurants, but now simply used for offices, conference rooms and storage for radio equipment. Tall, skinny and very slow to turn around, rumours that the design for the tower were based on Jimmy Traore remain unconfirmed. Jurgen Klopp is well known for being a musical man, stating that he wants his teams to play heavy metal football, although Liverpool is known more for a different kind of music, namely Merseybeat and of course the Beatles. There are many other great Liverpool acts, however, including The Farm, for Lars and Deaf School, whose debut album, Second Honeymoon, might well be appropriate for Jurgen Klopp, as after a slightly underwhelming first few games when the honeymoon period was judged to be already over, it seems the team are now starting to enjoy a second honeymoon of their own. If it's live music you're after, you could do no better than the iconic Cavern Club, spiritual home of greats such as the Fab Four, as well as Cilla Black and countless others. It's a great place to start when you're out imbibing the city's nightlife, but there's also numerous other clubs catering to the city's LGBT community, as me and my co-host know oh so well. In fact, Liverpool has got plenty of choice night spots, which is perfect if you're always looking to move on to a different club, like Raheem Sterling. After a few cream egg shots from a 24-hour off licence opposite Lime Street train station, it's back to rest your head at the hotel before, come the morning, a trip to perhaps one of Liverpool's most significant monuments, and one that should hold an extra special significance for Jurgen Klopp. The Hillsborough Disaster Memorial was unveiled in the old Haymarket district of Liverpool in April 2013, displaying the names of the 96 innocent football fans who never returned home from that infamous FA Cup semi-final. Elsewhere in the city, the 8-foot-high clock at Liverpool Town Hall has its hands frozen permanently at 6 minutes past 3, the time the game was eventually stopped as authorities realised what was unfolding. Presuming that Klopp is still in his job in 6 months' time, he will experience himself for the first time the annual Hillsborough Memorial service at Anfield, as attended by so many of his colleagues and predecessors. He will learn that Liverpool is not a city to hold grudges, but it is a city where the pain is still palpable and felt every day. It is a city that has endured decades of hurt, slander and tragedy, wounds that have not healed and justice that has not been served. But above all, Klopp will find a city that, despite everything, is thriving, a city with a vibrant sense of humour, a beating heart of cultural and historic marvels, and a city that, through its two great football clubs, lives and breathes the beautiful game with spirit, wit and character. It is a city, therefore, where I feel Jurgen Klopp will feel very much at home. Matt, back to you.
There you go, everyone. There's a guide to Liverpool for Jurgen Klopp.